Welcome to Workplace Whispers with Dr. Olufemi Ogunlowo. Now, on this episode of Workplace Whispers, we're talking about something we don't hear enough of: the nursing mother in the workplace. Now, we all know or we all hear about maternity leave, but what about the dads? What about the fathers? Should they get the same time off that the mothers get too? Because aren't they nursing in their own way? Or like Dr. Ogunlowo puts it on this episode about nursing mothers, is it really just about the nursing mother or the nursing family? And of course, for the mothers, how easy is it to return to work after the maternity leave? Well, we had members of the CIPM Lab chapter with us in the studio in the Freke AU, and Peters Osasuwa join us for this episode. Well, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share this episode with your friends, your family members, literally everyone. Now, let's head straight into the video.
Yes, this episode, like Praise said, we're going to be asking ourselves the fundamental question about the nursing mother and the workplace. But interestingly is, the law allows for a pregnant woman to be confined in the process of delivery, and therefore also have what is regarded as maternity leave, which is sometimes 84 work days or more, depending on the policy of the particular organization, but by law is 84 days. We know that many organizations have extended it to 6 months, and even some government agencies and states have done the same. But the question I want to ask before we actually then ask the nursing mother who is with us is it fair that the mother gets that time to bond with the child, but the father doesn't? Because at the end of the day, we've seen many times. I was watching a movie yesterday, and everybody that stood up and went to the podium, it wasn't a movie actually, it was the Ballon d'Or. And each winner kept on saying, "Thanks to my mother, thanks to my mother." Does this start from there?
Absolutely. It starts from the mother who has to carry the baby for a very long period. I know that the men too also suffer the stress of having to support mothers who are already pregnant, but the biological burden is actually more on the mother than on the father. So the father can contend with the psychological implication of having to impregnate a woman, but I think the huge part of the burden is carried by the mother. So the mother should receive the mother should receive most of the support. In some cases, for instance, like Lagos State, there's a new policy now that allows the man to go on a paternity leave so that they can offer support to the mother, and organizations are always already taking that cue to support a mother in whatever way they can. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I would say yes. The nursing mothers in general should have more time to bond with the newborn, because I'll speak from experience. Carrying this burden for 9 months and then having to go through the rigorous pangs of childbirth. Most mothers go through CS. I went through CS twice. Wow. So it wasn't even funny at all. So going through that pain and all, we need to heal, and we also need to provide nourishment to the newborn, mostly through breastfeeding, which is recommended for the first 6 months of birth. So the mother would have this more time to spend with the newborn than the father. Of course, my husband was there to provide moral support, and he was given about 2 weeks, a month from work to support me. But then again, he still has to go back to work, and how would be left with the burden of nourishing this newborn?
Yes, but if we flip it back, right?
Okay.
The mom gets the time off and gets the pay because it's paid leave, right? So in that process, the income is still guaranteed. So why is it not the same for the father? Even though, yes, we're talking about the nursing mother, but I want us to look at it as the nursing family. How can we balance it and move it away from nursing mother to the nursing family?
Okay, so do you mean the nursing father also gets the equal amount of time
I'm wondering if that would help, and probably in the future, a Ballon d'Or winner would go to the podium and say, thanks to my dad and my mom.
Okay, for me, I think we are getting there, because the leave that women have today, which is about 12 weeks, didn't come as 12 weeks. So it evolved. We evolve into that process. So the more information that is out there, like some of the questions you're asking now, the more we interrogate these questions, the more we think about the responses that are appropriate for them, the more we begin to innovate and see how we can better support the child that is coming forth. So I think we will get there, but we cannot get there in a day. Absolutely, we will not. And indeed, the current structure seems to have some positive aspects, in the sense that it gets to keep the father continue to produce, to provide and work and make provision for the family that is very, very nascent. So I think it's serving the current purpose. But over time, we'll see a situation where given artificial intelligence, where we can work from home and all that, men will begin to work from home to support the family and also enjoy similar benefits as the woman enjoying in terms of leave.
Okay, sir, I'd like to say something. Even though the general notion is that the mother gets to spend more time and still get paid, it is not in all cases with all women. For example, in my own situation, after I put to birth, I lost my job. So I did not get the benefits of that maternity leave, the maternity benefits over time. So even the 3 months doesn't appear to be enough for the women, for mothers. The next thing, they are returning back to work, battling in early mornings and late nights. So, but it's good that most companies now understand the postpartum pressure, because they've allowed mothers to do hybrid. So maybe they could do 3 days in a week and 3 days physical and then 2 days at home. So it helps them in the healing process. But then again, not all mothers are entitled to this benefit.
I would have loved to interrogate, but because, we also need to keep some confidentiality, because it's a bit disheartening that in this day and age, someone would have to make a choice between growing a family and having a job, which it appears to be what you're saying. So it's sacrificial, and we love our mothers for that, and we appreciate them. But we also have to speak to the employers out there that it shouldn't be a function of make a choice between growing a family or having a job. This is regrettable, and it shouldn't be at all. But given that has now happened, how does a nursing mother find her way back into gainful employment?
I'll just speak for myself, how I've been able to navigate through these times. I've had the opportunity to serve in the chapter as first as the general secretary and now as the vice chairman. So this keeps me professionally sane and in the HR space. So I am not redundant. So while I'm not in paid employment, I'm also actively involved in the proceedings of my career, so that by the time I'm ready to go back to work full time, I'm ready up to speed. I'm not behind.
Well, in addition to what she has said, the COVID-19 actually has unraveled the opportunity for us to be able to work from home. We never thought that would ever happen, So some of the opportunity women can explore is to get jobs that are remote, so you get to work from home.
Those jobs readily available now?
Well, they are not, but those who are actually getting it are actually getting it. That's the reason why you have to belong to association like ours, CIPM, where you can partner, you can have relationship and begin to tell, or network and begin to tell people about your situation, and they can help in that regard.
Now, some organizations also allow for mothers to bring the infant to work.
Wow, that would be nice. Like, do they have like a creche?
So they have creche, and
I would love that, because I feel like if that happens, the mother will be productive. Because of course, for an infant, as a mother, my mind, even as I'm here, my mind is at home. I'm thinking of my 8-month-old baby. My mind is at home, but knowing that my baby is safe and around, it will keep my mind at ease, and I'll
But
be
the
more
question
productive.
is, and which has been asked,
Okay.
does it cause distraction? Does it cause loss of productivity? Or is it actually healthy for the nursing mother to have the child nearby within the confines of the
I
workplace?
think data metrics would prove that. It should be able to prove if the mothers were more productive or they were distracted afterwards, for those companies that are imbibing this. So their data should be able to prove that.
For me, I just think the society that initiated the work from home are already calling people back to work.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you are calling people back to
That's
work, you
all
have to make arrangement on
people.
how they should work
Exactly.
from the location, you know. So I think the negative side is very minimal.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you look at it from a biblical point of view, maybe go into the world and multiply and all that. The first purpose of man is not only to just work; he's working to reproduce, to
procreate,
replace himself,
yeah.
to procreate.
Exactly.
You know, so I think from that perspective, we should tolerate whatever gap in performance or in productivity, that the little time it will take to rear the child to a point where you continue to optimize your performance and productivity will come. You know, I don't think it's a long time, so we should tolerate it.
Okay, I agree with you. And sir, I'd like to say something. So in that regard, right, I would speak for myself nonetheless. If I know that my child is nearby and is well catered for, maybe like with a nanny or so in the creche, it will increase my productivity level. I've worked from home. I worked from home for over a year while I was pregnant, and I was very productive. I was in the recruitment team. I was responsible for bringing in income that was used to pay everyone in the company. So I was very productive. Even when I put to bed, I was still working from home.
So that begs the question: why would your employer let you go?
No, she didn't let me go.
Okay.
The company, it was a remote work. My employer was abroad, so the company folded up.
Oh, all right.
That's just what happened.
Oh, okay. All right.
Regrettably.
I mean, it's good that we could clarify that.
Absolutely.
So, the question for parting is: how long is good enough for the company to actually allow for a nursing mother to either bring in the child or close early, to be able to go back to take care of the child? Is it 3 months? Is it 6 months? Is it 1 year? How do we determine that?
Okay, I think the basic is 12 months to stay at home and recoup from the trauma.
Do you mean 12 weeks?
12 weeks, sorry.
Okay.
12 weeks, sorry. To recoup from the trauma. Then you come back. Like for my organization, we have an arrangement where we can discuss as to a more flexible working time to resume and time to, close over a period of time. And indeed, during the 12 weeks, if you are unable to recuperate from the labor, you can write to say, oh, I'm unable to recuperate. Can I have more time? Yes, we'll provide that time.
Indeed, you just called it its name, labor. There must be a reason why it's called labor.
Okay.
and maybe that actually helps us to understand better, the pressures that comes with that process.
I said earlier that 12 weeks, it's not enough to regain whatever it is we went through there in the labor room. It's hectic. Even if it's the normal delivery, having to heal, your body has to heal from the trauma it went through, and you also have to provide nourishment to this child. So how do you do that with just 12 weeks? And you're expected to nourish the child for the first 6 months with just breast milk. So how do we do it?
But you see, recently I just heard that staying in the house sedentary without moving is a big problem, mentally and physiologically. So I think a human being, we are created to walk.
You can walk for 30 minutes.
Exactly.
A day
that part of the walk will
environment.
also be, maybe you come to the work office place, you don't do too much.
Spend the whole day in traffic.
Well, that's another
that's
bug.
an option.
Yeah, exactly. But we are talking generally now.
Okay.
Maybe Lagos State, maybe in Abuja or in Badon, they don't confront that kind of a problem.
It helps
So
with body movement.
absolutely, it helps.
So what we are suggesting is that the workplace should continue to look at what is best for the worker, but not just the worker, but the entire family. Because at the end is when the family is stable and healthy that the workplace itself can be. Because the community actually starts from home before it gets enlarged into the workplace.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
I'd like to thank you both for your time today on Whispers.
Thank you.
And we take the conversation forward in the future.
Thank you very much.
Wow, what a very insightful and intelligent conversation we had today on Workplace Whispers. It was really, really amazing. And I think we should have more of these episodes, right? What do you think? Well, you can help us make that decision. Help us by sending in your questions. What questions do you want answered on Workplace Whispers? And we'll take them in our subsequent episodes. And that's not all you get to do. Make sure you like, you share this video, and please subscribe to this channel so that we can bring you more insightful conversations like this. My name is Praise Mba. We'll see you on the next one for Workplace Whispers with Dr. Olufemi Ogunlowo.